Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this coastal scene in Blender. And this is going to be really fun because we're actually going to be using some assets that we're going to get online for free. I'm going to show you exactly where you can get them. And this is our scene. And not only are we going to make this really cool scene and render it out, I'm going to take you guys into the compositor and we're going to do a little bit of a mist pass. So we have that nice fall off that you can see here, and just to add a little bit of extra realism to our scene. So a little bit of scene setup, a little bit of rendering, and then some compositing to make this final result. So let's jump into it, and I hope you guys enjoy. So down in the description, I'm going to put a link to 3 different assets. The first one is going to be this coastal cliff. The second one is going to be this wooden bridge, and then there's going to be a HDRI. So how do you download these? It's free to completely free to use Polyhaven. Don't even have to create an account. So you're just going to come here to the download tab. By default, it's set to Blender. You can see over here. Choosing the resolution, that's completely up to you. I'm going to go with 4K for this and 4K for the bridge as well. And with the HDRI, 8K I'd recommend at least or more. And you're going to go ahead and download those 3 assets. Once you've done that, put them inside of a folder on your computer. So here you can see I've got the 2 zip files. So you're just going to go ahead and extract them. So I'm extracting the coastal cliffs. And then I'm just going to quickly extract the wooden bridge as well. And then I can just get rid of these 2 zip files. And then obviously this over here is just the HDRI, which you can see over here. You don't have to extract that one. So once you have that done, you're going to open up Blender. And inside of Blender, we're going to select all of the default objects. We're just going to press delete. We're going to go Shift A, add in a plane. And let's go press N to open up our properties panel. Let's go to the items. And let's go over here to our scale. And what we're going to do, we're going to make it 55 on the scale for the top. And let's come here to the Y and let's make that 35. So 55 by 35. And now if you press 7 to go to your topographic view, you can see this is what we have here. Let's just quickly tab into edit mode. And in the top here, we're just going to go Control R, roll the middle mouse button 2 times just to add in 2 segments, double click, and then Control R, add one in here. So now we have rough squares. We're just going to press A to select everything, and let's right click and go subdivide. Under the subdivision tab, let's give this something like 120. Okay, maybe that is a bit too much. I'll just go with 80. Okay, so I'm going to go with 80 here. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to tab back out. I'm going to go to my modifiers. I'm going to give this a displace modifier. Let's go over to our texture properties. Control A, by the way, and just apply the scale on this. And then let's go new. Let's give the image type cloud, and let's go over here to the size 1.5. Let's go with 1.5 for now. Then let's go over to our modifier properties, and let's bring the strength way down, like so. And let's right click and go shade smooth. Let's also give this a subdivision surface modifier. We just want a little tiny bit of rippling in the water. Now, it doesn't look like there's really much here, but once we render this at an angle, that rippleage is going to make a really big difference. So now we have our ocean modeled, if you will. Let's go File, let's go Append, and remember we created a folder, we extracted those zip folders. You're going to find those 2 extracted zip folders, and let's first of all get the coastal cliff. So you're going to click on that file, you're going to click on the blend file, and then you're going to go to Object, and just get these objects and then click Append. And here you can see they're appended in, and with them all active, you're going to go G in your top view, and let's move them over here, like so. And then you're just going to grab, because they're actually all stacked on top of each other, just grab one of them and move it over to the side, and then go R to rotate it. So let's go something like this. Let's grab it again. Let's go G to move it. Let's move another one over here, kind of rotate it at an angle like so. And then there's one more. Let's grab it, G to move it, and let's bring it over here and then rotate it. And we're kind of creating like a little sheltered bay area, if you will. Let's maybe just bring this one down and out a little bit. Something like this. You guys kind of see where we're going with this, right? So we're going to go here for now. Might move that up and in. And you guys kind of see this is what we have so far. I might just grab them though and bring them all down a little bit. Or just go S, Z, and maybe flatten them just a bit and then move them down. So just having them a little bit flatter. Okay, I think that's looking quite good. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come in here and we're going to go Shift A. We're going to add in a camera. And I'm just going to move my camera back, actually. Move it up a bit. So right over here where the entrance is of this little harbor, I'm going to scale the camera up a bit. And I'm going to go into the camera view and double tap R just to rotate. And with your camera, I'd recommend you go to camera properties, and let's give it a focal length of 35 millimeters, so it's a little bit wider. And I'm going to zoom back quite a bit, and it's up to you to kind of find something that you like. You know, this can be done so many different ways, to be honest with you. But the idea here is just to kind of get a, you know, a nice viewing angle that you find aesthetically pleasing. So I'm going to go with something like this for now. And then we're going to go File, we're going to go Append again. And let's go back to that second file, which is the modular bridge. I'm going to click on that, we're going to go to the blend file, click on Object, and then let's grab all of these objects here and go Append. And I'm going to go S just to scale them up a little bit. And then I'm going to go G, and I'm going to move them. Now, how you position this, okay, is going to be completely up to you. I'm going to go with something like this. And then I might go ahead and grab some of these bits and just duplicate them by going Shift D, and I'm going to place them, I don't know, just places where I think people might want to have a little bit of a landing to kind of help them get onto these cliffs. So for me, I think that kind of makes sense. I'm going to go back into the camera view, and I might bring some of these components down a little bit, to be honest. I think they're sitting a little bit high, so I might just bring them down. Maybe grab these guys, bring them down a bit. They don't have to be the exact same height, but you guys kind of get the idea. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go Control B and just drag over the camera just to limit the rendering to the camera view. And let's also go ahead and just save. I'm going to save this into the file where we have everything, all our extracted zips. It's going to call it Coastal Scene. Always important to save. And then let's go to our render settings. Let's make it cycles. Let's go to our device. If you have a GPU, you could use that. Otherwise, just stick to CPU. Then under the render, let's go to the max samples, make it 70. You can make it more. I'm doing a tutorial, so I'll just leave it at 70. And let's go over to our world properties. Click on the color here, go to environment texture. Let's go open, and let's get that rusting copy Perseki, kind of a weird name, but whatever HDRI you downloaded, go ahead, open that image. And now if we go Z and we go rendered, you're going to see we have some nice HDR lighting, and we have our cliffs and everything here. It almost looks good, but the one thing we need to do is just create a shader here for our ocean. So let's grab, in fact, let's go Shift A. Let's just quickly add in a plane and move it down. Let's go S to scale it up like this. And let's go ahead and just quickly give that a material, and let's just make it dark like this. I've just found that really helps make the scene look a little bit more realistic. And then we're going to grab our water here, and we're going to go new, and let's just call this ocean. And what we're going to do, we're going to go into our shading workspace, and let's go into our camera view, and let's, with our water here selected, let's go to our principled shader. Let's give it a transmission value of 1. And let's go to our roughness and bring it almost all the way down to 0. And then we're going to go Shift A search and get a noise texture. Shift A search and let's get a color ramp. Let's plug the factor into the factor of the color ramp. And let's go Shift A search and get a bump. And let's plug the color into the height of the bump, and the normal output will plug into the normal input of the principled. We're going to take the strength and take it down to 0.1. And we're going to come here to our scale and make it 120. And now if we go Z and we go rendered, we can see we have some nice ripples on our water. You can make the strength 0.05 even if you wanted to. It really depends on how strong you want it to be. But now you can see we have some nice, simple looking water. Now, one more thing before we wrap this up. Let's, at least with our lighting, let's just go to our world settings here. And if you have the Node Wrangler enabled, you can just grab this image texture and go Control T or Command T. If you don't have Node Wrangler, just go to your preferences, go to your add-ons, and then just type in Node and then enable the Node Wrangler, okay? And then with that done, you can do Control T with this selected and adds in a mapping and a texture. That way you can come here to the mapping and you can just kind of rotate it. And if you now look at your environment texture in rendered mode, you can actually see we're changing the direction of the lighting. So for me, I might try something like I think 173 looks good. I like the shadows here under rocks. So you can rotate it to get some different lighting effects. So that's what I'm going to stick with. I'm going to quickly go back to my object here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do some cool things to help us with compositing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to our view layer properties. We're going to go down to the passes and enable mist. Then we're going to go to our world properties. And we're going to go to the mist pass. And you can now adjust where you want your mist to start and where you want your mist to end, so the depth essentially. But one thing is you can't really see it here, so you're just gonna have to quickly select your camera, go over to your camera properties, and under the viewport display, just come down here and enable mist. So now you can actually see that mist. So let's go back to our world properties, and now let's have it starting at something like 4 or 5 meters, and let's just grab this depth here and let's make it go all the way out at least a little bit past those cliffs over there. So that is going to be our mist pass, which we'll use in our compositing. So let's save everything, let's go render, and let's render this image. Here we have our render. It rendered in no time at all. So what we're going to do, we're going to go over to our compositing workspace. Let's go use nodes, Shift A search, and let's just get a viewer node. And let's plug the image into the image here. So now you can see this is what we have. So you can press V to zoom out or Alt V to zoom in. So what we're going to do is we're going to go, first of all, just connect these two together. So here we have our image output, as you can see, and now we have this mist pass. So you're going to go Shift A search and get a mix shader. And then you're going to have this image coming into the top. And now what we can do, we can take the mist and plug it into the factor. So now you can see this value down here is going to be the color of our mist, or the value of it. So you can change the color of the mist. And if you want a way to control the strength of the mist, you can go Shift A search and get a color ramp node, place it on the mist. And now you have a way of fine tuning this as well. You can grab the white value here and you can make it darker so you have less of an effect there. And that's how you can add a little bit of extra realism, because without the mist pass, something doesn't look quite right. It just feels a little bit too sharp. And especially near the coast, you'd have a little bit of that kind of like ocean spray, kind of mistiness in the air. So I think that really adds to it. So it's a small little step. Shift A, let's quickly add in a lens distortion, place it over here. Let's go 0.02 and then 0.02 as well for the bottom, and let's go fit so it fits it in. So now we have a little bit of lens distortion as well, and that just makes it look even better. So here is our final result. I'm going to quickly zoom in a little bit with Alt V, and now you guys can kind of see this is what we have. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time for another tutorial. And like I said, I won't be uploading this to my Patreon just simply because the blend file is absolutely massive and I won't be able to upload it.